Now listen, BJ, I got to bring up a story that you're gonna die about this, because I remember Fight Week. It was cool because it was in Mohegan Sun, which is a road trip for me and my boys. So it was kind of like
never seen anything like it.
It was so I had a lot of the East Coast there guys for me. So you probably felt like enemy territory. I drove down there and I remember like shit, man, like. You know, I felt like I had trained so hard because I knew what I was up against with you, BJ, the monster movie so far in the UFC. I was like, oh, geez. So I was training my ass off. And I remember the first time I ran into you and I didn't know how it was going to be. So I came up to you and I don't even remember this. You were very cold. You were very cold to me almost. And I'm like, BJ, you remember? Listen, let me say first, because I'm going to fess up to something. Right? It's going to be so fun. So BJ, so I'm like, oh, that's how it's going to be. And we were young. We were kids. So up until that point, it was dirty looks. You're with your crew, I'm with mine. Right. We're sitting out, we walk into the cafeteria, whatever it was, we're sitting out, we're looking at each other. It feels like it could pop off at any time. Right, BJ?
That's true. And it's like, remember when because there were so few people that you drink with everybody, but if you're fighting them, just that week, you guys, that's your guy you don't talk to, right? But that's true.
It's true, but BJ, there's a reasoning behind it. So this is so funny. We were getting our eyes checked, and we get out, and we were kind of still like posturing. And you said something like, so I guess we're not getting a drink after or something like that. I go, hey man, you're being like this to me. And then you said something to me. Hey, listen, BJ. And then you go to me. You go, and this is parts of I hope you remember this. You go, yeah, you told Dana you're gonna put me in a dress or something like that. And I'm like, and I go, do you remember this?
Hula boy. Dana kept saying hula boy.
Listen. So you said that to me, and you must have worded it differently because back then I didn't really hang with Dana at all. So I go, dude, I don't know what you're talking about. And then you're like, all right, and this and that. And then I remember later on, and then we like shook and we're like, all right, after we'll have a drink. And then afterwards, I'm like, motherfucker. I go, I remember Dana came out like 2 months prior, and there was a Long Island-based press. There was like a marketing strategy they had to try to have us do 8x10s, and they were trying to market us. So we had like a marketing meeting, and then I was leaving that thing, and I was with Dana. And Dana, he goes, where you going? I go, I got to go run some hills, man. I go, and he's like, hey, man, BJ's tough. Now look, I'm in fight mode. You know what I mean? He's telling me, hey, man. So I'm like, listen, man, and I said this. I swear to God, but I didn't put it together. When you said it to me, I didn't, because I go, listen, man, I'm going to send them back to Hawaii in a hula skirt. BJ, I'm sorry. I'm fessing up now 20 years later.
You know what?
I'm sorry, BJ. I love you, man. I didn't, when you put it on.
That's not personal. Hey, that's part of the game. I mean, Leo Santos, I remember he goes one time like, why are you talking like that about the guy? He didn't disrespect you. And I look at him and I go, when he put his name on the contract is when he disrespected me. Because that's how it feels. That's what it is.
BJ, right? it is, man. You have to have that mindset. So anyway, then that's why I'm like, that makes sense why the guy's being, I know we're gonna. So I didn't, because I never. So that's how that worked out, and then we had our fight. Now listen, I'm going down. Now I knew. Listen, I was just ready. I just felt like I felt very dangerous, but I still was like, I'm about to go downstairs, and I had Gil Castillo was there. You know Gil Castillo? He's a Cesar Gracie guy. Cesar Gracie black belt. Gil Castillo.
Did he fight Matt Hughes that night or something?
Yeah, he might have. He fought Matt Hughes. He lost some fights, but he fought for the welterweight strap back in the day versus Dave Manette.
He did. He was in it, Gil. You got to say he was
Gil's a great guy. He was friends with Cesar. Man. Now, Cesar, at that time, I don't know that you might have been like out with Alf or out of the family. There was some drama going on. So I got so I knew. I talked to Cesar before. I like Cesar, but there's some guys. Right. There's some guys you don't want to talk to. When you're getting ready for a fight, you don't want to hear anybody else. You don't want to hear any negativity. So BJ, I'm going. Right. I leave the room and Cesar goes. So Gil goes, hey, Cesar wants to talk to you real quick. I'm like, oh fuck. I get on the phone. This is what I get. Hey man, I'm just letting you know. BJ's Muay Thai, I heard, has been looking really, really dangerous. He's been working with, whatever. He's just looking sick standing up. And just, hey. And he's been going with Division I wrestlers, having a hard time getting them down. Caesar, maybe I shouldn't show up then. BJ, the worst thing you want to hear. Okay, so his stand-up's looking fucking phenomenal. And he's very, very difficult to get down. What? BJ, come on, man. I'm like, thanks, Caesar. So, dude, so then the fight starts. There might be right now, I couldn't run if you had a gun to my head with my knees. I can still roll, but I can't run. Me and you both we sprinted down that far. We used to be a ramp.
Right.
I sprint down with my tank top and my hat on backwards. It was BJ, we were getting ready for a street fight.
Right.
It was, dude. It was a hard fight. I remember when it started off, and I remember the first time I lifted up your leg, you gave me a short uppercut to my eye. I still see floaties. You know what a floatie is when you see the dots?
Oh, man.
BJ.
I'm sorry.
So, no apologies. So you hit me with that, so I brought my head to the outside, and sure enough, the rumors were true. You don't go down so easy. Dude, I'm hugging you. I'm chasing you. I'm on your leg. I'm chasing you around. I'm like trying to put you to the floor. You like a spring. And the first round was hard, BJ.
Yeah, well, I remember walking up, man, because I think about it, like now that we're sitting here, like the same day, I could have been the first guy like the GSP because you were ready that night. You were ready, man. Like I had to keep my eyes open on everything. You were strong, fast. And I knew that you had that in you. I knew you were the kind of guy that could beat the best guy at any day easily like that. And you're right there. BJ. And when I heard you coming out, I was like, oh, I could have been the first GSP right there.
Oh, shit.
And that was, yep. Oh. I always laugh because the last time I was with John Jack Machado and I go, isn't it crazy how we're the two best rappers in the UFC get in the ring every single time? Just looking at
yeah.
It's funny, yeah.
I mean, we got to take down a piece, and you got me the double hunt hooks. I got the butterfly guard, and I got back up. I got you one time against the cage, and you sprung back up, and we kind of nullified it. We nullified, when you're really good in jiu-jitsu, it's hard to get positioned. So it is. We were on, and that's when we were on point. It's hard to keep either one of us down. And, it went to the judges, the second round was close. The third round was, and then when I saw a little bit, you were breathing a little after. I'm like, oh my God, I could have pushed harder afterwards. I'm like, maybe I should have pushed harder. But listen, after sharing the cage with you, it's not a fight that I ever felt like I had to get back. I felt if it had to end with me with a loss, and, it ended almost in a standstill with us circling each other. And so there's nothing like, I got to get that one back. Or I just think we had a fun fight, BJ. We did. Right? And you were the victor.
It would have been the same again.
I think at the end, 30 minutes we'd be circling each other like fucking two J.R. Sullivans. Oh, shit, BJ.